Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
Definitely interested in African American, and I am short, but I like tall men.
How short are you?
5'1".
How tall you want him to be?
I like 6'3" and up.
You're 5'1" and you want him to be 6'3"?
That's what I'm attracted to.
Is that what you normally date?
Yes.
So what's going on with those men?
In 1998, I was 17 years old, and it was my dream to be the starting point guard of my favorite team, the Sacramento Kings. But lo and behold, as time went by, yeah, I wasn't good enough to even play junior college basketball, let alone in the NBA. So even though I preferred to be the starting point guard of the Sacramento Kings, the reality is I wasn't good enough. So I had to end up doing something else and accept my lot in life in a complete other field outside of professional basketball. And I think that's true for many of us as men and women. We want something. Like, we want to live in Beverly Hills. We want to, drive a certain car. Oh, but if you look at the bank account, it's not reflecting that you can afford that car or that house. And let's even talk about another thing, the dating market. You see, guys, the dating market operates just like any other market, a free market economy in the United States. The African Union, the European Union. See, the dating economy has buyers and sellers, and those who buy based on value, based on competitive advantage, or how good you are as a product. That's no different in the dating market. The people who can buy and they can compete will buy the best quality product that they can, and those who can't, doesn't matter how much you want to be involved in the market, but if you can't produce those goods or services, you can be a company all you want, but doesn't mean you're going to get customers. And that typically happens with women. A lot of women are in the dating market only to find out they don't really have what it takes to be selected by the kind of guy or customer that they want. Let's take this particular lady. She was on Kendra G's show. 52 years old, divorced, 3 kids, BBW. I believe her name is Constance, right? But I want to play a little clip so we can kind of get to know her, to kind of examine the case study of today.
Hello? Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name, Bo?
It's Constance.
Constance, where you calling me from?
I am right now working in Houston. So I am 52.
52, okay. Where you calling us from?
So right now I am working in Houston.
Okay. Working in Houston. Constance, 52, working in Houston. What do you do in Houston? What do you do again, baby?
So I am an independent claims adjuster.
Independent claims adjuster.
Yeah. So I'm normally out in the field working. So whenever there's a disaster, then I'm the person that comes and checks your roof, yada, yada, yada. But I decided a few months ago just to work remotely. So that's the reason why I'm here in Houston working remotely.
Okay. Do you have any kids, Constance?
I have 3 sons. They are adults. They are 25, 27, and 28.
Have you ever been married?
Yes. And my ex-husband and I had the 3 children.
Okay. When did you get divorced?
About 20 years ago.
Okay, 20 years ago. 20 years ago.
So guys, to make it all simple, 52 years old, married and divorced, 3 kids, but that's just, the profile. So in a competitive city like Houston, Texas, where you have a lot of competitive women, and you see what kind of, man she's looking for, a man who gives back to the community. She's looking for a man that's highly educated, well-traveled like her. Yeah, it's a lot of competition for a man like that. But it even gets more interesting. We'll play a small clip of, what kind of man she's looking for and some of her deal breakers, and then we'll come back.
So definitely one that is professional, because I'm a professional. I really value education, and I also value being able to give back to the community. So I want someone that's a professional, someone that's hardworking like myself, someone that is well-rounded and has traveled a lot, because I travel a lot for my living, um, and someone that is definitely God-fearing.
Okay. What's some
Because
deal breakers?
someone that is doesn't value education, someone that is complacent, and someone that has an issue with a goal-oriented woman.
Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
Definitely interested in African American, and I am short, but I like tall men.
How short are you?
5'1".
How tall you want him to be?
I like 6'3" and up.
You're 5'1" and you want him to be 6'3"?
That's what I'm attracted to.
Is that what you normally date?
Yes.
So what's going on with those men?
Just because, I mean, that's what I'm attracted to.
I understand. So you say you normally date them, so why hasn't anything progressed?
For a variety of reasons. Number one, I've found that in my industry, I travel a lot. So quite often men kind of shy away from women that travel a lot. That's one of the things, is the fact that I travel a lot in my industry. And another is sometimes they're a little intimidated by the amount of money that I make. So that's a concern, or that's been a concern or a barrier there. Like my shirt right here, North Pole. So last year I was in Alaska twice working. So to get someone that's willing to travel to the location that I'm working at, that can be difficult.
A black man, potentially, yeah. Are you only dating, you
Mhm.
only date black men?
I do. I
Now
do.
let's go to the money part. You said men are intimidated by the amount of money you make. Does the guy got to make a certain amount of money?
I would prefer. I
And what's
do. And the
what,
reason why is because I believe that you should date within your wage.
men don't date within their wage.
I think as a woman, and I think it's definitely very different as a woman, if you, because men are trained to be providers. The majority of them are, especially in my age range. So if I'm making 200,000 and you're making 50,000, that's problematic.
But if you're married, isn't like everybody's money your money?
So I'm definitely very traditional, and I believe that it is the woman's right or role to be the complement and to be the helper. And I want it to be where I don't have a problem working, but if anything happened to me and I'm unable to work, I know that I'm going to be able to live in the same lifestyle. So I don't want to be the primary breadwinner. And
Okay,
I've watched
so
their show a lot, and I see that a lot of times when women come on and they say, "Hey, I make 100,000, and I want someone to make the same amount," there's a lot of pushback. But if I'm making over 200,000 and I can make in 1 week what you make in an entire month, that can be behind closed doors. That can be a problem.
So, let's kind of talk about a few things. Number one, she dates only black men. All right, only black men. That's important because black men typically earn less than other groups of men in the United States. So her dating pool is pretty small. But black men are also some of the more highly sought after men in the United States by not just black women, other women as well. All right. And she talks about she wants a man that's well traveled. She wants a man that is a high earner, which we'll find that out. We found that out. And a man that is highly educated. So there are a lot of women looking for somebody like that. But then she mentioned at a certain point that even though she's 5'1", she's looking for a man that is 6'3". because she said, well, that's what I'm attracted to. Well, Kendra G asks a very interesting question. Well, what about those men that are 6'3" and higher? What happened to them? And she started making, I would say, excuses. She said, like, I move around for my job too much. I'm not settled in those places. And that doesn't make sense because you're coming onto an online dating show where possibly men are not going to be able to travel also. You're probably at best going to have an online dating relationship with some man. And what it tells me is that the guys that you've been coming across don't feel that you're valuable enough as a mate to try to, date. She went to Alaska twice, and a lot of black men don't want to come to Alaska. It's not just that. It's just that the guys you want have so much opportunity in a city like Houston. What's the need for them to come to Alaska for you? Then also, she says she wants a man that makes a lot of money and to be able to support her fully with the lifestyle that she wants. Again, not taking into consideration that you're in your mid 50s, and not that a man won't do that, but typically, as we've seen with guys like P. Diddy, we've seen with other guys, a lot of the brothers that can date younger are doing so. Even Lala Anthony, who is a very beautiful woman in her early 40s, maybe 41, is having a hard time getting guys that are financially successful to date her because those guys are not even checking for her. And Lala Anthony is a dime, right? In my opinion, more attractive than the lady that's on the screen. But yet, this is what you're looking for, and you're saying that you don't want to date a man that makes less money than you. But the reality is that the men that you're looking for most likely are already gone, and you're not mentioning what you actually bring to the table, such that a man will want to date you exclusively and not anybody else. This is a lot of delusion that's going on. Like, you're 5'1", you want a man that's 6'3". That's like top 2 or 3% of height in America. You're looking for a man that makes over $100,000 a year. That's top 5% in America. And then, what do you have as far as a man? Where do you rank? Not where do you rank income wise. Like, for most men, where do you rank in beauty? Where do you rank in weight, or where do you rank in femininity? That might be things that are applicable to men. But again, a lot of ladies don't really look at that. They're not so concerned with those things, more or less concerned with what they want from the man, and not really looking at what can they do for the man that they're looking for. And that is a problem. A lot of times when we want to do something, like when I wanted to be the point guard of the Sacramento Kings, I didn't spend enough time ball handling. I didn't spend enough time, working on my game. I didn't spend enough time doing the things that I needed to do to play professional basketball. I wasn't dedicated enough, and then I wasn't really that serious about it, so that was just a dream. And same thing about being a business owner. If you want to get rich, you're going to work every day. You're going to sacrifice a lot of your time. You're going to do something all the time. People are going to go out and have fun. You're going to be working on the business. That's what it takes to be rich. But a lot of times, women don't look at what guys look for. As far as certain guys that have a lot of options, they're going to want a woman maybe a certain size. Maybe they're going to want a woman a certain age. And those women typically haven't looked at things like that because it doesn't really matter to them. The only thing that matters is what they want. And this is why you see a lot of women not doing very good in the dating market. Look at a company like Apple, Microsoft. Why are they in the business, in the tech industry for so long and doing so well? They pay attention to what customers want so they can service that need. Whatever customers want, they're making sure that it's different, it's better. But when our sisters in our community are looking for black men to deal with, you're not looking at what makes you competitive for a high earning or a high man, talented man that is well traveled, that can do a lot of things. You're not looking at that. And so that's what creates the demise a lot of times in our community, and it leaves a lot of our women very single. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.